The more money you make, the harder it becomes to build wealth. Not because of taxes, not because of bad luck, because your brain is working against you, and the smarter you are, the more sophisticated that self-sabotage gets. That's not a metaphor. That's a measurable neurological process happening inside your skull every single time your income goes up. And understanding it might be the most important financial education you ever get. You've done everything right. You studied hard. You got the degree. You climbed the ladder. You're making more money than your parents ever did, more than most of your friends, more than you ever imagined when you were starting out. And yet, and this is the part nobody talks about out loud, you have almost nothing to show for it. The account balance at the end of the month looks embarrassingly similar to what it looked like 3 raises ago. You know exactly how much you earn. You have no idea where it actually goes. You'll sit down to budget and feel genuinely confused because on paper, this should be fine. You should be building something. Instead, you feel like you're running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up every time you run faster. And here's what makes it worse. You're smart enough to know something is wrong, but every explanation you've heard has been insulting. Stop buying coffee. Make a spreadsheet. Have more discipline. You don't need more discipline. You need to understand what your brain is actually doing, because the problem isn't your character. It's your neuroscience. There's a concept in behavioral psychology called hedonic adaptation, and it is the single most underexplored reason why high earners stay broke. Here's the core mechanism. Your brain has a remarkable ability to return to a baseline level of satisfaction regardless of what changes in your external circumstances. Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman and his colleagues demonstrated this across decades of research. Lottery winners, people who received major promotions, even individuals who experienced serious physical injury, all returned to near baseline happiness levels within roughly 1 to 2 years of their life-changing event. The brain normalizes everything. That's its job. That adaptation is actually a survival feature. If you stayed permanently euphoric every time something good happened, you'd be functionally useless. But here's where it turns on you financially. When your salary goes from $60,000 to $90,000, your brain doesn't register a permanent upgrade. It registers a temporary spike. Dopamine floods your reward pathway, that ancient neurological highway that drives all motivated behavior, and it feels incredible for about 6 weeks. Then your brain recalibrates. The new salary becomes the new normal. The $90,000 feels exactly the way $60,000 used to feel. And now your brain needs a new stimulus to generate that same reward signal. So you upgrade the apartment, the car, the vacations, the restaurants, not because you're reckless, because your dopamine system is doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. Seek the next reward. What this means for you is that every raise you get is quietly being metabolized by a neurological process you've never been told exists. Now layer in the research of economist Thorstein Veblen, who coined the term conspicuous consumption over a century ago, and whose work has been validated repeatedly in modern neuroscience. Humans are hardwired for social comparison. Your prefrontal cortex, the seat of rational decision-making, is in constant communication with your brain's threat detection systems. When you perceive yourself falling behind your social reference group, your brain treats it as a genuine survival threat. And here's the cognitive trap that catches smart people specifically. Higher intelligence correlates with more sophisticated rationalization. Your brain doesn't say, I'm buying this car to keep up with my colleagues. Your brain says, this is an investment in my professional image. I work hard and I deserve this. I'll start saving next quarter when things settle down. The smarter you are, the more convincing your own excuses are. You're not lying to yourself on purpose. You're running a neurological program so elegant you can't see the seams. Watch how this plays out in real money. You get promoted. Your take-home goes up $1,800 a month. Within 90 days, $600 of that is absorbed into a slightly nicer apartment you reason yourself into. Another $400 goes to a car payment you justified with math about reliability and professional necessity. $300 quietly disappears into the subscriptions, the upgraded gym, the delivery apps that weren't in your life 2 years ago. You're left with maybe $500 of extra money and a vague sense that you should invest it. But you're tired, the interface is confusing, and you tell yourself you'll do it properly when you have more time to research it. That's lifestyle inflation psychology in action. That's not weakness. That's hedonic adaptation running its program on your paycheck in real time. The research is brutal on the math here. A household earning $150,000 a year that maintains the lifestyle of a $90,000 earner can build genuine wealth in under a decade. But data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics consistently shows that spending scales almost perfectly with income across the middle and upper middle class, which means the wealth gap between income and net worth isn't a mystery. It's a prediction. And the people most vulnerable are the ones who are smart enough to earn more but not yet aware enough to intercept the neurological pattern before it costs them another decade. So here's where the science actually helps you. The first shift is what researchers call lifestyle lag, the deliberate practice of allowing your lifestyle to catch up to income raises on a delayed, conscious schedule rather than an automatic one. When you receive a raise, commit in advance to directing 70% of the net increase directly into an investment account before your brain brain has the chance to normalize the new number. You're not depriving yourself. You're simply staying one step ahead of hedonic adaptation. If your take-home rises by $600 a month, $420 of it goes to your future self before your present self even registers it as available. One specific way to do this: set up an automatic transfer the same day your new salary takes effect, not next week. That day, your brain cannot adapt to money it never sees. The second shift is called reference group audit. Because your spending is largely governed by who you're unconsciously comparing yourself to, you need to make that comparison conscious and deliberate. Identify 3 people in your life whose financial values you genuinely respect, not people with the nicest things, but people with the most freedom. Make them your active reference group. This works because your social comparison circuitry doesn't turn off, you redirect it. When you catch yourself rationalizing an upgrade, ask which version of yourself you're trying to signal status to, and whether those people will actually care. The third shift is the dopamine redirect. Your brain needs reward. That's non-negotiable. The mistake isn't wanting the dopamine hit. The mistake is only training your reward system to respond to purchases. Start deliberately creating moments where your brain gets a genuine dopamine release from your net worth increasing. Check your investment account growth at the same time each week, on a schedule, with your full attention. Celebrate it out loud, even to yourself. That's up $400 this month. Say it. Your brain can learn to feel that as a win, but only if you show it that it is won, consistently, over time. Here's where we land. Smart people with good jobs stay secretly broke because their brains are working perfectly, just on the wrong program. The very cognitive sophistication that helped you earn more is the same engine generating the most convincing reasons to spend it. Your intelligence is not the problem. Your intelligence has just never been aimed at this particular mechanism before. The most dangerous financial condition isn't poverty. It's earning well while building nothing, because it's invisible, it's comfortable, and your own brain will rationalize it beautifully every single step of the way. So here's what I want to know. When you got your last raise, how long did it actually take before it just felt normal? And did your spending quietly grow to meet it before you even noticed? Tell me in the comments, because I promise you're not the only one.